Today we are going to discuss the topic secondary growth in roots. Okay. So what is secondary growth? The increase in thickness or diameter of axis of the primary plant body is called secondary growth. So it means whenever there is increase in thickness or diameter of the axis, we call it that the secondary growth has taken place. Now, which tissues are involved in this? Lateral meristems. Lateral meristems like vascular cambium, and cork cambium help in this type of growth. We have already discussed three types of meristems, and on the basis of position we differentiate the last category as the lateral meristems, which are involved in diametric growth of the plant, and those two are vascular cambium and cork cambium. So they are involved in secondary growth of roots. Now, in dicot roots, once the primary tissues are mature, further increase occur in diameter as a result of the addition of secondary vascular tissue and periderm. Okay. So how does the diametric growth is added? That is because of the formation of two new tissues, that is secondary vascular tissue and periderm, and they are formed because of the activity of vascular cambium and cork cambium, that are lateral meristems. Now, what are the various steps involved in secondary growth of roots? The first step is origin of vascular cambium. Now, in order to understand how the vascular cambium develops, first we should know the internal structure of the dicot root, because initially during primary stages no cambium is present in the tissues. Okay. So, initially when you look at a structure of a root, let us suppose this is the cross section of the root. In the center we have stellar region, in which there is present xylem, and alternate patches of phloem. This type of vascular bundles are called radial vascular bundles, okay, and there is no cambium present. So the very first step is the origin of vascular cambium. So how it would originate? Okay, the diagrams we'll draw later on. Firstly, about the written part, the parenchyma cells lying between the primary xylem and primary phloem become undifferentiated in a dicot root. And what is this region? These parenchyma cells, they are the conjunctive parenchyma. Okay. So the region, this region in between xylem and phloem, that is called conjunctive parenchyma. So its cells undergo dedifferentiation and the result in the formation of meristematic cells, and then they are going to develop into the vascular cambium. So the origin of vascular cambium is the site of conjunctive parenchyma. Now these cells constitute conjunctive tissue. These produce as many strips of cambium as are the patches of phloem. Okay, because let us see, this is a tetra-arc dicot root. So there are 4 patches of phloem. So accordingly 4 strips of cambia will develop. If it is a diarc condition, that means 2 patches of phloem, so 2 strips of cambia would develop. So it is directly as per the number of patches of phloem available in the bundle. For example, in a tetra-arc root, there appears 4 separate strips of cambia. Cambium is a word, singular word, and cambia means it is for plural. So how this strip becomes continuous? Okay, now the cells in the region of pericycle here outside, they will also become meristematic so that the strip of cambium is complete. So the pericycle cells arching over protoxylem also become meristematic. To produce strips of cambia. Finally, all cambial strips get connected with one another to form a continuous and wavy band of vascular cambium. Okay, so this is a complete strip of vascular cambium that develops from the region of conjunctive parenchyma and from the cells of pericycle which lie just opposite to protoxylem. So this is the first step, origin of vascular cambium. The second step is activity of cambium ring. So once the vascular cambium is formed, what kind of cells it is going to cut off? So that is the activity of cambium ring. So the wavy cambium, you can call it cambium or vascular cambium, ring cuts secondary xylem towards inner side and secondary phloem towards outer side. Each cambial initial divides tangentially into two daughter cells one of which enlarges and divide again indefinitely. And the other one will form element of secondary xylem or secondary phloem. Okay. So how does this take place? If this was the cambial initial, in order to differentiate, let's make it dotted, the single cell. So it will divide tangentially. Tangentially means perpendicular to radius. So the initial is going to divide along the horizontal axis and it will result in the formation of a new cell. Now the one cell will remain meristematic throughout life. Okay, it will remain serving as the cambial initial and the other cell will develop into secondary xylem or secondary phloem. Let's suppose if it's towards the inner side, it is going to develop into secondary xylem. Or if it's towards the outer side, let's suppose later on its activity is reversed. This is the first formed cell, secondary xylem, and after some time it cuts a cell towards outer side. So then it will develop into secondary phloem. So there is a cambial initial that divides tangentially. One of the cell remains meristematic throughout life and the other cell, if cut towards the inner side, will develop into secondary xylem, and if towards outer side will develop into secondary phloem. So that is how the secondary xylem and phloem elements are formed. We are continuing the second step. Okay. So once the secondary xylem and secondary phloem elements they are formed, it has been observed that the activity of vascular cambium is more towards inner side as compared to outer side. So that is the reason why more secondary xylem is added as compared to secondary phloem, and that results in circularization of vascular cambium. Okay, the ring that was wavy earlier now becomes a circular ring because more of the tissue is being added towards the center as compared to the outer side. So, slowly from that region the ring is pushed towards the outer side so that it circularizes. Opposite to protoxylem, cambium produces parenchymatous cells on its either side forming medullary rays. So, this part is important. How the medullary rays are formed from the region of the cambium that developed from pericycle, okay, which is opposite to protoxylem. That is not going to form secondary xylem or secondary phloem, rather it will cut certain parenchymatous cells towards both sides, towards inner as well as outer side, and they result in the formation of medullary rays. Primary xylem appear as star-shaped structure in the center. The sieve elements of primary phloem gets crushed. So, we will draw all these changes when we will draw the diagrams. This is what happens when the cambial cells are dividing. Okay. So, one thing is that the vascular cambium give rise to secondary xylem and secondary phloem, which are called the secondary vascular tissues. Then the second thing is the cambium also give rise to medullary rays, and the third part is that the primary xylem now appears as a star-shaped structure in the center, and the primary phloem, the sieve elements of primary phloem, they get crushed. So, these are the changes which takes place during activity of cambial ring. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about the tissues which develop from cambium. First is secondary xylem. It contains tracheids, vessels and parenchyma. The fibers are very few. Then vessels of secondary xylem are thinner and wider as compared to primary xylem. The second elements that develop They are secondary phloem. It is lesser in amount than secondary xylem. It contains sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, and very little sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma is in the form of fibers. Now, the third type of tissue developed is medullary ray. Secondary xylem and secondary phloem do not form a complete ring. Okay. In the diagrams also we will show there is a gap in between. They are formed in the form of patches. The vascular cambium derived from pericycle gives rise to only ray cells. Hence, wide primary vascular rays. Vascular rays is the other name of medullary rays. You can call it medullary rays, are formed opposite to protoxylem. Okay, this we discussed earlier also, that the cambial strips which develop from pericycle, they are going to form the parenchymatous cells which will form medullary rays. Now, these rays, they are of two types. These are wood or xylem ray, and those which are in the phloem region, they are called phloem ray. And what is the function of the ray? These medullary rays help in conduction of substances radially. So, they are involved in radial conduction of substances. So, that was the second step, the formation, the activity of cambial ring. Okay.